Baron Zubek was a career bank robber who'd taken over a large home in Chatsworth and was living there with his girlfriend, his teenage son, and 2 roommates. And there was high tension.
Can you imagine being the parent of a son and he turns out to be a bank robber, 40 years old, and he robs banks for a living, and he's got 2 kids living with him? But how would you like to be the parents of Amy Harder, who is also 40s, and she's also lost completely, but now 2 lost souls are together. And one of them, or both of them, committed murder.
Leading up to June 2nd, 2011, when he murdered the 2 roommates, Aletta Williams and John Lee, in front of Amy Harder. She saw John Lee on the floor. She saw Zubek chase Aletta Williams to the room that Williams shared with Lee, and saw Zubek fire the final shots that ended Aletta Williams' life. Amy Harder left the house that night, and
She left the house that night after she helped them cut up the bodies and snapped their teeth out of their heads and put them in a trash can.
having introduced Zubek to her and her family and friends, she was very concerned about the people who were.
Then she took him over to her parents' house and she introduced her whole family to Zubek.
Around her, knowing how dangerous now Zubek was. On and off for the next several weeks, she stayed in touch with him.
For the next 8 weeks, she continued to see Zubek. Although in those 8 weeks, I'm sure many things went across her mind, like maybe the death penalty for her complicity.
She saw him, she visited the house. When she returned, the house was clean, the scene was.
She told half a dozen people how she helped cut up the bodies, how she helped carry them out into the cans, how she was the one that snapped her teeth out of their head because she was the hygienist. And
both bodies had been removed, and we later learned that Zubek had stuffed them into barrels, moved them to a storage unit, and then ultimately transported them across town and placed them 40 feet from his back door inside a closed utility trailer. Although there was a missing person report and the family was looking high and low, they had no idea that this crime had occurred.
because Amy sat on the facts for 8 weeks. 8 weeks!
One who talked to Brent Zubek and heard that he claimed they had up and moved after having some work come their way. However, Amy Harder decided to come forward, and she disclosed this crime in and around August 2011. The body.
Or maybe it was September. Maybe it was 12 weeks that she sat on it, ever thinking that the death penalty was she was going to be facing the death penalty. So maybe she thought she'd just give up over her boyfriend, the love of her life, the one she introduced her parents to.
We found at the house, and for the next 2 weeks, Brent Zubek was on the run. The daily news accounts in the San Fernando Valley were filled with reports of high-profile police chases and his escapades and sightings throughout the San Fernando Valley. Ultimately, because she stayed in contact with him, at the same time she stayed in contact with police, Amy Harder was instrumental in his capture and arrest. He called her to help him get gas. She came, the police were there, and she actually drove him to a spot where the police surrounded the car. She removed the keys so he couldn't flee, threw them out in front of her, and he fled on foot. After he shot at a pursuing major crimes detective, hours later, Zubek was shot by a and brought down while he was shot. It's a fact that we never likely would have known this crime had occurred if it weren't for Amy Harder.
What a good girl. Isn't that a good daughter? If it weren't for Amy, we might not have ever known who killed these people like her. But she got off scot-free for her testimony against Zubek. Now, the thing that bothers me is that she's threatened the Vineman gang on me to kill me because I reported her and her boyfriend for stealing cars and writing fraudulent checks and just being terrible criminals. She herself has threatened me with 2 gangs, one a Filipino gang and the other one the Vineland gang. Vineland gang just had 43 guys sentenced to life in prison and 18 of them to the death penalty. This is who she hangs out with. She's not the angel this guy's making her out to be. Amy Harder had my good friend beaten up in front of her sister's dentist's office. Beaten down so badly I couldn't even recognize him. She ordered a gang to beat him up. This is this innocent girl that this prosecutor is selling you.
She cooperated throughout the investigation and ultimately testified at trial.
And because she stayed out of jail, she was able to have her boyfriend Brian beaten down, and now she's threatening to have me killed because I reported her and her crazy-ass new boyfriend, for being car thieves, which they are. Amy Harder is a dangerous criminal. She's a gang member or a gang wannabe member. She has no business being free. If you come in contact with Amy Harder or Mike Plato, her new boyfriend, slam the door, lock the door, call the police, call the sheriff, but don't associate with them. You're playing with fire. That's a fact.